Emergency signal. A human battlecruiser approaches rapidly. Sci-fi. The edge of space was quiet. Too quiet. On the listening post orbiting a small blue planet, Commander Valen leaned over the glowing console, his eyes scanning the streams of data. Every day, the Coalition ships received countless signals from nearby systems. Most were routine. Some were warnings. A few were mistakes. But this signal was different. "Commander," said Myra, the young analyst beside him. Her voice was calm but tense. "I'm not sure what I'm seeing. The transmission, it's human." "Ah." Valen straightened. Humans were supposed to be a minor species in this part of the galaxy. Slow to expand, slow to fight, slow to matter. They were known more for exploration than war. Yet here, on the edge of disputed space, a human signal was screaming across the comm network. "Human?" Valen asked.
"Are you certain?" "Yes," Mira said. "The code is primitive, but it's theirs."
It's repeating over and over.
It's some kind of emergency call.
He had dealt with emergencies before, but nothing like this. "Show me the readings," he said. The display shifted, showing a single point of light approaching fast, faster than any known human ship should move. The analysts had been using the latest slipspace calculations, and the numbers were impossible. The ship had jumped from a system far beyond normal human reach. The Coalition had charts, star maps, and predictions, but this ship had ignored them all. "Look at that speed," Mira said. "It shouldn't be able to survive that jump. It should be tearing itself apart. But it's holding together." Valen rubbed his chin. "Maybe it's a bluff. Maybe it's a decoy." "I don't think so," Mira replied. "Whatever it is, it's real and it's coming here. Now." The room fell silent for a moment. Outside the window, stars streaked past as the sensors tracked the approaching craft. It was massive for a human ship, bigger than anything the Coalition expected them to have built. Sleek but sturdy, with a design that suggested strength over style. "Prepare for communication," Valen said finally. His voice was firm, even though his heart raced. "Let's see what they want." Human languages were messy and chaotic, especially over interstellar distances. The signal was fragmented, with parts repeating and parts corrupted by interference. Yet slowly, a pattern emerged. "It's a distress call," Mira said. "Or at least, it says it's an emergency. But it's not asking for help."
"It's warning us."
Valen raised an eyebrow. "Warning us?" "Yes," Mira said. "It's repeating coordinates and a time. Some kind of threat, maybe. Something bigger than a normal fight." Outside, the blip on the sensors continued to grow larger. Coalition crews gathered in the control room, murmuring among themselves. No one knew what to expect. The human species had been on the frontier of space for decades, but their ships were few. Even if they were brave, they were not supposed to arrive like this. Valen turned back to Mira. "Any idea how many humans are on board?" "It looks like a single ship," she said. "But judging by the size and the systems, there could be hundreds, maybe more. Hundreds on one human battlecruiser. That alone made the Coalition officers uneasy. They had been told humans were still a minor threat, mostly explorers and traders. If one ship could hold that many and survive extreme maneuvers, they might have underestimated them. The blip suddenly shifted, showing an acceleration curve that made everyone gasp. The ship was not slowing, it was moving faster, dangerously fast. The Coalition ships in orbit could not match the velocity, and there was no way to predict where it would appear next. "They're coming here," Valen said, his voice low. And they're not slowing down. Mira looked at the data, her fingers flying across the console. This isn't normal human behavior, she said. Their ship is damaged, maybe, but it's still accelerating. They're taking risks no one else would survive. Risk or strategy? Balin asked. Maybe they want to make a statement. Statement or not, it's a warning, Mira said. Whatever is coming, they're telling us to be ready. Outside, distant stars reflected off the glass. The emergency signal continued, repeating the coordinates and timing, over and over. The repetition had a strange rhythm, almost like a heartbeat. It made the officers uneasy, even though no one could explain why. Valen finally spoke. Alert the council, he said. Get every ship in range ready. If the humans are sending a warning, we need to be prepared. Mira nodded and transmitted the data. Alerts began spreading across the coalition networks. Ships that were in orbit around other planets received the message. Ships in deep space changed course. Commanders debated what to do. Most of them were afraid of humans. But no one expected a human ship to arrive like this. Fast, dangerous, and alone. Do you think they're coming to fight? One officer asked nervously. Maybe, Valen said. Or maybe they're coming to save us from something worse. Either way, we can't ignore them. As the minutes passed, the human ship drew closer. It moved through space like a predator, precise and unstoppable. The coalition tracking systems strained to keep up. Every maneuver the ship made seemed impossible, yet the sensors confirmed them. Hull integrity remained high. Shields were stable. Weapons systems were active.
This isn't just an emergency, Mara said. This is a human proving they can survive anything.
He had read reports and histories, but nothing could prepare him for this. The humans were supposed to be minor, slow, and cautious. Instead, here they were, a single ship rushing into unknown danger, carrying hundreds of crew members, refusing to slow down, refusing to retreat. The room grew tense as the ship entered visual range. It was enormous, with dark metallic plating that gleamed faintly under the light of distant stars. Strange weapons protruded from the hull, but nothing like the elegant energy arrays the Coalition used. This was brute force technology, built to survive and endure. Prepare external cameras, Valen ordered. I want to see their crew. The screens lit up with images. Humans were visible inside the bridge, moving with calm determination. Captain Jack Haley sat in the main chair, eyes focused, hands resting lightly on the controls beside him. Tactical Officer Lisa Brooks checked readouts and adjusted the ship's trajectory. Others moved through the corridors, calm but busy. No panic, no hesitation. Just humans ready to act. They're not afraid, Mira whispered. Look at them. They know what's coming, and they're ready anyway. Balin exhaled slowly. We need to learn from them, he said, and hope they are on our side. The Coalition had prepared for threats before, but nothing like this. No one had prepared for a human ship arriving faster than calculations allowed, carrying more firepower than predicted, and doing it alone. The signal continued, repeating coordinates and times, a warning in human code that said more than words ever could. Humans would act first. Humans would survive. Humans would arrive, even when everyone else thought it impossible. As the ship moved closer, the emergency signal became almost overwhelming. Alarms echoed across the listening post. Lights blinked. Officers scrambled to understand, to prepare, to respond. But deep down, Valen knew one truth. This was not just an emergency. It was the beginning of something much larger. Whatever the humans were warning about, they had already decided to meet it head-on. And if the Coalition wanted to survive, they would have to follow. The human battlecruiser appeared suddenly in Coalition space, faster than anyone expected. Sensors confirmed it had survived its jump through slipspace without serious damage. Yet the ship looked battered. Hull panels were scratched and scorched, and the engines glowed with a pale orange heat. Despite the damage, the ship moved with purpose, like it had a single goal. Inside the ship, Captain Jack Haley leaned forward in his command chair, his eyes fixed on the display beside him. Tactical Officer Lisa Brooks checked the readouts and adjusted power to the shields. "We're entering Coalition space," Jack said, his voice steady. "Status report. Shields are stable, weapons online, life support normal. Bow. Propulsion is holding after the last slip space jump. We're ready for anything." Jack nodded. "Good. Prepare for contact. I don't know what they expect, but we need to make our presence clear." The ship shuddered slightly as it maneuvered through the atmosphere of the Coalition's outer detection zone. Jack and Lisa exchanged a glance. This was new. Humans had never been here before. No human ship had moved this deep into Coalition space, especially alone. Outside, Coalition commanders watched through sensors and cameras as the human ship approached. Commander Valen could not believe what he was seeing. The speed, the size, the confidence of the humans. It defied everything the Coalition thought they knew. "They're not slowing down," Valen said. "They're coming straight at us."
"Oh, full speed. Maybe they're hostile," one officer whispered. "Maybe," Valen replied.
Or maybe they just want to warn us.
"Either way, we have to be ready." As the human ship drew closer, it transmitted its emergency signal again. The message was simple but clear: coordinates, time, and a warning of danger. Coalition translators struggled to fully decode it, but the meaning was unmistakable. Humans were not asking for help. They were telling everyone to prepare. Inside the human ship, the crew moved with calm efficiency. Engineers checked the reactors, making sure they could handle the strain. Communications officers transmitted the warning signal repeatedly, ensuring every Coalition ship in the area received it. "We're reaching visual range," Lisa said. "They can see us." Through the thick energy shield of the ship, he could see the Coalition fleet forming defensive positions. Ships of all sizes moved into orbit, ready for attack if needed. Their weapons glowed, scanning the human ship. "Let them look," Jack said quietly. "We're not here to start a fight, but if they fire, we won't back down." The Coalition ships hesitated. No one expected the human ship to behave this way. They were supposed to be cautious, slow, and careful, yet here it was, a single ship, damaged and alone, moving forward without fear. "They're amazing," Mira said, watching from the Coalition post. "Look at their shields. They're holding despite the speed and distance. Their weapons are online, but they're not firing." Valen nodded. "Humans don't behave like any other species. They take risks no one else would survive. It's almost like they're daring the universe to challenge them." The human ship continued to move through the fleet, its emergency signal repeating. Coalition commanders struggled to decide whether to open fire or try to communicate. The tension was thick. No one wanted to attack humans, but no one wanted to be unprepared if they were hostile. Inside the human ship, Jack gave the order. "Open communication channel. Let's make this simple." The Coalition fleet received a direct transmission. Jack's voice was calm, firm, and confident. "This is Captain Jack Halley of the human battlecruiser Defiant," he said. "We are approaching to warn you. A threat is coming. It is fast, powerful, and will destroy anything in its path. We suggest you prepare immediately. Do not wait. Do not hesitate. We will hold them as long as we can." The message sent a ripple through the coalition. Humans were serious. They were not asking for help. They were promising action. They would fight, even alone, against an unknown enemy. "What kind of humans are these?" one coalition officer asked nervously. Valen shook his head. "The kind we underestimated. The kind we should never underestimate again." The human ship moved into a position closer to the coalition fleet. It was clear that Jack intended to act as a shield if necessary. The emergency signal continued to broadcast, ensuring that every coalition ship and outpost received the warning. "They're positioning themselves between us and whatever is coming," Mira said. "They're taking the first risk." Avalen could only watch. Humans had a strange way of thinking. They did not calculate like other species. They did not retreat in the face of danger. They advanced confident in their ability to survive and protect others. Inside the human ship, the crew prepared for combat. Engineers reinforced shields, weapons officers loaded kinetic cannons, and tactical officers mapped possible attack paths. Jack and Lisa worked together, calm and precise, ready to lead their crew into a fight they could not fully see yet. "Are we ready?" Jack asked. "Ready," Lisa said. "We'll hold them as long as we can." The coalition watched in awe as the human ship took its position. The vessel was battered, but it radiated strength. Every maneuver showed careful calculation, but also daring that no other species would attempt. "They're not just sending a warning," Mira said. "They're showing us what humans can do. They're proving they will face the impossible and survive." He realized that this human ship was more than a warning. It was a lesson. Humans did not back down. Humans did not flee. Humans would fight, and they would survive. For hours, the human ship moved through the fleet, scanning and broadcasting, ready to act. Coalition ships remained on high alert. The tension was unbearable, yet there was also a sense of relief. Humans were here, and humans, it seemed, would face the coming threat first. Jack sat in the command chair, eyes on the screens. He did not flinch. He did not hesitate. The crew followed his lead, moving efficiently, prepared for whatever might come. Their emergency signal continued, repeating over and over, a steady warning that carried hope as well as danger. "Whatever comes," Jack said quietly, "we will face it, together or alone. We will survive." The coalition fleet could only watch, knowing that humans were different, stronger, braver, unpredictable. They were not just a species, they were a force to be reckoned with. As the hours passed, the human ship maintained its position. It was a shield, a warning, and a promise. Coalition crews began to prepare their own defenses, taking the humans' message seriously. No one had expected a single human ship to change everything. And in that quiet moment, deep in the unknown reaches of space, everyone understood. Humans did not come to ask for help. Humans came to act. Humans came to survive. And when the real threat arrived, they would be ready. The emergency signal continued, repeating coordinates, times, and warnings. It was not just a message. It was a statement. Humans were here. Humans would fight. Humans would survive. And whatever was coming, the galaxy would soon see the full measure of human courage. The calm of coalition space ended suddenly. A new blip appeared on the sensors, far beyond normal detection ranges. It was massive, moving faster than anything the Coalition had ever tracked. Alarm sirens filled the fleet's command centers.
What is that?
An officer shouted, pointing at the display. The shape was unlike anything seen before, dark, jagged, and enormous, with strange glowing engines that pushed it forward through space. It was coming directly toward the Coalition. Commander Valen froze. "They've underestimated this," he said. "It's the threat the humans warned us about." Captain Jack Haley's voice cut through the ship's intercom. "All stations, prepare for engagement. Shields at maximum, weapons online. We move forward. They will hit us first if we wait." Tactical Officer Lisa Brooks adjusted the human ship's shields, rerouting energy from engines to defensive systems.
"We can't stop them, Captain. They're too fast and too big," she said.
Jack nodded. "We won't stop them. We'll hold them, just long enough for the Coalition to prepare." The alien fleet hesitated. Most of their ships were larger, more powerful, and better armed than humans, but none had faced a threat like this. The approaching enemy was enormous, moving with deadly precision, and nothing in Coalition records matched it. "They're coming straight for us," Valen said. "And the humans are moving toward them, not away?" Inside the human ship, the crew moved with calm efficiency. Engineers monitored the reactor, weapons officers loaded kinetic cannons, and sensor operators tracked the enemy. The ship shuddered slightly as the first waves of enemy drones passed near its shields. The energy fields flared under the impact, but held. "They're testing us," Lisa said. "They know we're here." "Good," Jack replied. "Let them see what humans can do." Energy beams slammed into the human ship, shaking the hull. Alarms blared. Sparks flew along the walls, yet the humans did not panic. Engineers quickly rerouted power to weak sections. Weapon systems fired in response, small but precise shots that tore through the enemy drones. "Direct hits," Lisa said. "We're taking damage, but it's working." "Keep firing," Jack said. "Hold them. Every second counts." Coalition ships watched as the human ship became a shield. Every time the enemy fired, the humans intercepted it. Every time the enemy advanced, humans responded with skill and speed. No other species could act this fast under such pressure. "Look at them," Mira whispered. "They're not just surviving, they're controlling the fight." "Humans are impossible," Valen muttered. "We should have expected this, but we didn't." Inside the human ship, the crew moved like one mind. Weapons fired, shields absorbed, engines maneuvered. Jack's orders were precise but simple. Survive, hold the line, protect the Coalition. "Impact on the starboard hull," one engineer shouted. Sparks flew near his station. He ducked and quickly rerouted power to repair the damage.
"We're okay, but it won't hold for long." "Keep repairing," Jack said. "We have to last."
Massive ships and drones tried to break through, but the human ship responded with a combination of brute force and clever tactics. Kinetic weapons tore through enemy drones at close range. Shields flared and absorbed energy that would have destroyed any other vessel. "They're insane," Lisa said, almost in awe. "They're fighting like nothing can kill them." "Humans survive by doing the impossible," Jack said quietly. "That's all we know how to do." Coalition ships slowly began to respond. Inspired by the humans, they moved into formation. Their weapons fired, coordinated with the human strikes. The enemy was powerful, but the combination of human boldness and Coalition fire began to slow them. "Look at that," Mira said, pointing at the main screen. "The humans drew them into a trap. The enemy is overextending. They're baiting them." Valen said. And it's working. Humans understand risk better than anyone. They know what it takes to survive impossible odds. Inside the human ship, Jack noticed a weak point in the enemy formation. Bring all firepower to the front, he said. We'll punch through. Keep shields high, engines ready to move. The human ship surged forward, dodging enemy fire while striking back. One by one, enemy drones and smaller ships fell. Explosions lit the darkness of space. The humans moved with courage, precision, and sheer determination. We can't hold them forever, Lisa warned. They're too many. We don't need forever, Jack replied. Just long enough. The coalition will finish the fight once we've drawn their focus. The humans were risking everything. Every maneuver, every shot, every second was a calculated risk. Yet somehow, the human ship held together, stronger than it should have been. This is why they warned us, Mira said. If humans didn't act, the fleet would be destroyed before we even had a chance. And they're showing us that humans never give up. Never. The battle continued. The human ship was battered, panels blown off, sections sparking, yet the crew remained calm. They repaired what they could while continuing to fight. The enemy pressed forward, but every attack was met with countermeasures, evasive maneuvers, and precise weapon strikes. They're amazing, one coalition officer said. We've never seen a species fight like this.
Humans fight because they have to survive, Valen replied.
It's in their nature prayer. They will keep going, no matter what. The human ship took heavy damage, but it had bought enough time. Coalition ships moved into position, weapons fired, and the enemy was finally slowed. The humans had held the line, acting as both shield and spear. Impact on the aft hull, an engineer shouted. Sparks flew again, but the crew responded instantly. We're holding, but it's close. Status? We're battered but alive, Lisa replied. We've done what we can. Good. Let's make sure they know humans are here. Keep the signal going. Warn everyone else. The emergency signal continued to broadcast, repeating coordinates and warnings. Every coalition ship and station received it. Humans were not just fighting. They were ensuring everyone else could prepare. They're heroes, Mira said quietly. They're risking everything to protect others they don't even know. Valen looked at the humans on the screen, battered but unbroken. They're more than heroes, he said. They're a force of nature. The enemy began to retreat, unable to break through the human defense. Coalition ships pressed the attack, coordinated with the human strategy. Explosions lit the void of space, and slowly the threat was pushed back. Inside the human ship, Jack breathed a sigh of relief. The crew cheered quietly. They were battered, but alive. They had held the line long enough. The coalition was safe, for now. Good work, everyone, Jack said. We've done what we came to do. The fleet is ready. We survive. Lisa smiled. Humans always do. The human ship had risked everything, fought impossible odds, and survived. No other species could have done what the humans had done.
We underestimated them, Valen said. Never again.
It was not just a warning. It was a promise. Humans would act first. Humans would fight. Humans would survive. And the coalition had learned a lesson they would never forget. Deep in the darkness of space, the human battlecruiser floated, battered and scarred, but alive. Captain Jack Haley looked at the stars, at the fleet they had protected, and knew one thing: humanity would meet any challenge, no matter how impossible. and the galaxy had just seen the first proof of human courage. The battlefield of space was quiet again, but the silence was heavy. Smoke and debris from destroyed enemy drones floated through the void. The Coalition fleet regrouped, their ships moving cautiously among the wreckage. The humans had survived, but their battlecruiser was badly damaged. Panels were missing, hull plating burned, and systems flickered under strain. Inside the human ship, Captain Jack Haley walked the corridors, inspecting the crew. Engineers worked tirelessly, repairing what they could. Sparks flew as damaged panels were patched. Tactical officers adjusted shields and weapons. The crew moved with calm determination, as if nothing could stop them. "Status report," Jack said, pausing at the command center. Tactical Officer Lisa Brooks looked up from her console. "Shields are stable but weakened. Weapons are partially operational. Propulsion is online, but we need more repairs before a jump. Life support is good. The crew is fine." Jack nodded. "Quiet. Good. We survived."
That's all that matters. We did what we had to do.
Engineer Claire Morgan approached, wiping soot from her uniform. "We'll need at least a week of repairs to be fully operational," she said. "But we can hold together until then." "We don't have a week," Jack said quietly. "More enemy ships could be coming. We need to move." Lisa checked the sensors again. "Coalition fleet is reorganizing. They've seen what we can do. They'll cover us if we retreat slowly." Jack gave a small nod. "Then we move together. Humans and allies. That's how we survive." Outside, Coalition commanders watched as the human ship slowly moved through the wreckage. Valen observed the damage and the calm demeanor of the crew. It was clear that humans had been pushed to the edge, yet they had survived. They had not panicked, not retreated, not surrendered. "They're unbelievable," Mira said. "They took the brunt of the fight and survived. Alone, they would have died. But they didn't. Humans fight differently," Valen said. "They don't just react. They plan, improvise, and survive no matter what. They act first and think later. It's dangerous, but it works."
As the human ship moved closer to Coalition ships, a council vessel sent a transmission. The voice was formal, but filled with respect.
"This is Commander Valen of the Coalition fleet," the message said. "Your actions saved countless lives today. The Council recognizes your courage and dedication. We wish to extend our gratitude." Jack replied simply, "We did what we had to do. Humanity acts when action is needed. No thanks required." The Coalition vessels moved closer, scanning and assessing the human ship. It was battered, but it remained alive and functional. Officers on the Coalition ships whispered among themselves, amazed by what they saw. "They survived impossible odds," Mira said. "And they did it for us, for everyone here." "Humans survive by facing the impossible," Valen replied. "We should learn from them." How well bred. Jack moved to the bridge and watched the Coalition ships. He saw officers nodding, respecting the humans' courage. The emergency signal continued to broadcast, though the battle was over. It was a reminder. Humans act first, warn everyone, and survive against all odds. "We need a plan for repairs," Lisa said. "We can't jump until we're stable." "We'll coordinate with Coalition engineers," Jack said. "We'll fix what we can here, then prepare for the next move. Whatever comes, we'll be ready." Throughout the human ship, the crew worked tirelessly. Engineers patched hull breaches, repaired shields, and checked weapons. The ship had survived the impossible, but it was not unscathed. Yet every member of the crew moved with calm determination, as if the danger had only strengthened their resolve. Humans never stop, Claire said quietly. Even when everything is broken, we keep going. Jack smiled slightly. That's how we survive. That's how we protect others. That's what humans do. Outside, Coalition commanders studied the ship. It was clear now that humans were more than explorers or traders. They were a frontline force, capable of incredible courage and skill. They acted without hesitation, facing threats that others would never approach. "We underestimated them," one officer said. "Never again." The Council will need to recognize this. Humans are more than allies. They are guardians, willing to stand first when danger comes. As the human ship moved slowly through Coalition space, other ships began to follow. Repairs would take time, but the humans had shown the way. The Coalition would learn from them, coordinate with them, and trust them in the battles ahead. Inside the human ship, Jack addressed the crew. "We survived. The fleet is ready. The threat is slowed. We did what we came to do. Prepare for repairs, but stay alert. Humans never stop, and neither do we." Cheers went up quietly among the crew. They were tired, battered, and scarred, but alive. They had faced impossible odds, and won, not just for themselves, but for everyone in the Coalition. The emergency signal continued, repeating coordinates and warnings. It was not just a message, it was proof. Humans act first. Humans survive. Humans protect others. And the galaxy had seen that proof today. Valan turned to Mira. "Record everything," he said. "The Council needs to know how humans fight, how they survive, and what they can do. We must honor them properly." "This is history," she said. "The humans didn't just survive. They taught us all a lesson." As the fleet moved through space, the human ship remained at the front. Battered, scarred, but alive. Captain Jack Haley watched the stars, knowing this battle was only the beginning. Humans would continue to face impossible odds, survive, and protect others. That was their way. "Whatever comes next," Jack said quietly, "we'll meet it head on. That's what humans do." Coalition officers continued to study the ship, recording data and preparing reports. Every sensor reading, every movement, every decision of the human crew was documented. Humans were no longer underestimated. They were a force the galaxy would remember. Inside the human ship, the crew worked in silence and determination. Repairs continued, shields were reinforced, and weapons were tested. They were ready for the next threat, whatever it might be. "Humans survive by facing danger," Jack said to Lisa. "We never wait for it to pass. We meet it, we fight, and we protect others while we do it. And we always survive." As the stars moved past, the human battlecruiser continued forward. It had survived, it had fought, and it had proven something no one could deny. Humanity acts first, fights hard. The Coalition had witnessed courage, skill, and determination that no one else could match. Valan watched from his fleet, amazed and humbled. "Humans are incredible," he said quietly. "They are what the galaxy needs in times of danger." The emergency signal continued, a constant reminder of human bravery. Every ship in Coalition space received it. Humans were not just allies, they were protectors. They were survivors. They were warriors. Inside the human ship, Captain Jack Haley looked at the stars. The battle was over, but the fight for survival would never end. Humans would continue to face impossible odds. Humans would continue to act first, and humans would continue to survive.
This is only the beginning?
Jack said. And humanity will be ready. The Coalition fleet followed slowly, repairing and reorganizing, inspired by what they had seen. The human ship led the way, a symbol of courage and determination. Everyone knew one thing: humans would survive, no matter the odds, and they would never fight alone. And so, the battle ended.
The Coalition learned.
And the galaxy had seen the full measure of human courage for the first time. The human battlecruiser, battered and scarred, moved forward, carrying a crew who would never give up. Captain Jack Haley and his crew had faced impossible odds and proven one thing: humans fight, humans survive, and humans protect others no matter the cost. The emergency signal repeated endlessly across space, a warning, a promise, and a statement of human will. Humans were here. Humans had acted. Humans had survived. And the galaxy would never forget it.